on, the next topic to be discussed is about the measuring forecast errors. The overall accuracy of any forecasting model, it can be a moving average or the exponential smoothing or other, can be determined by comparing the forecasted values with the actual or observed values. If forecast T denotes the forecast in period T and A sub T denotes the actual demand in period T, the forecast error or deviation is defined as forecast error is equals to actual demand A sub T minus the forecast value or F sub T. So several measures are used in practice to calculate the overall forecast errors. These measures can be used to compare different forecasting models, as well as to monitor forecasts to ensure they are performing well. So there are three popular measures na ginagamit natin for measuring forecast errors. We have the number one is the mean absolute deviation or the MAD. Next is the mean squared error or the MSE, and the mean absolute percentage error or the MAPE. So first, we will discuss the first measuring forecasting errors, the mean absolute deviation, a measure of the overall forecast error or a model. This value is computed by taking the sum of the absolute value of the individual forecast errors or the deviations and dividing by the number of the periods of data n. So to give an example, number 4, to further para maintindihan natin kung paano i-compute ang mean absolute deviation. So we have example number 4. During the past 8 quarters, the port of Baltimore has unloaded large quantities of grain from ships. The port's operations manager wants to test the use of, gagamitin daw natin is exponential smoothing to see how well the technique works in predicting tonnage unloaded. He guesses that the forecast of grain unloaded in the first quarter was 175 tons. Two values of alpha are to be examined. It's the coefficient constant na 0.10 and coefficient constant na 0.5. So, naiintindihan ng problem ha? So, ang sabi niya, gagamit tayo ng exponential smoothing. Ano ba yung formula natin for exponential smoothing? So, we have the new forecast, diba? Tandaan, exponential smoothing, we have the new forecast is equals to previous periods forecast or the FT minus 1 plus the smoothing constant alpha multiplied by the difference of the actual demand, diba, of the previous data minus the what? Previous what? Correct. Previous periods forecast. So this is the formula of the exponential smoothing. So ang sabi din niya dito, he guesses that the forecast of grain unloaded in the first quarter was 175 tons. So yung First forecast natin is 175 tons. Okay po. So next, for the second quarter forecast, we have 175 for the forecast of the previous period plus the smoothing constant of 0.1 multiplied by the difference of the actual demand, diba? Or the actual sale or tonnage of the previous month, which is 180 minus the forecast of the previous month, which is 175. So we now have 175.5. So yung forecast natin for the second quarter is equals to 175.5. So for the third quarter naman, so the same lang din ang gagawin natin. For the third quarter is equals to forecast nung last period, which is the second quarter. It is 175.5 plus 0.1 the smoothing constant. Ano yung previous actual natin? 168 minus 175.5, which is equals to 174.5. Okay po. The same. For the fourth quarter naman, diba? Ano yung forecast natin? 174.5 plus smoothing constant na 0.1, and then yung actual natin is 159 minus 174.5, which is equal to 173.18. So next, for the fifth quarter, ano yung forecast natin? 173.18 plus 0.1 or the smoothing constant multiplied by the actual of the previous period minus the forecast of the previous period is equals to 173.36. Okay po. So for the sixth quarter, we have 173.36 plus 0.1 the smoothing constant, 190 minus 173.36 equals to 175.02. Okay po, nasusundan na. For the seventh quarter, ano yung previous forecast natin? 175.02 plus the smoothing constant. Ano yung actual natin? Actual forecast or the actual tonnage unloaded natin, which is the 205, diba? Minus 175.02. So, ang sagot natin dito is 178.02. Next, for the 8th quarter, 178.02 plus the smoothing constant of 1. Ano yung actual natin? Actual period, 180 minus 178.02 equals to 178.22. So lastly, ma-identify na natin yung forecast natin for the 9th quarter. Is equals to 178.22 plus smoothing constant natin, 182 minus 178.22 is equals to 178.59. Ay po, nakukuha ha? Nakukuha. So next, nakuha na natin yan. So sa 0.5 naman tayo. Kasi i-compare daw natin yung dalawa kung ano yung gagamitin niyang smoothing constant, 'di ba? Yun yung question, yun yung ina-identify natin. So is equals to 175 for the forecast ng last period plus ano yung smoothing constant? 0.5 multiplied by 180 yung actual natin minus 175 is equals to 177.5. So next, 177.5 tama plus 0.5 multiply ano yung actual 168 minus 177.5 is equals to 172.75. Next, for the fourth quarter using the 0.5 smoothing constant of 0.50 or 0.5, 172.75 plus smoothing constant. Difference, the actual is 159 minus 172.75 is equals to 165.88. Next, for the fifth quarter, 165.88 plus the smoothing constant. Ano yung actual natin? 175 minus 100 the previous forecast, 165.88 is equals to 170.44. Next, 170.44 plus 0.5 is 190 minus 170.44 is equals to 180.22. Next, for the seventh quarter, we have 180 forecast of the previous period, 0.22 plus the smoothing constant, the difference ng actual, which is 205, minus the forecast of the previous period, 180.22, equals to 192.61. Next, for the eighth quarter, 192.61 plus 0.5, 180 minus 192.61 is equals to 186.30, diba? For the ninth quarter, we have 186.30 or 0.3 plus smoothing constant, difference ng actual, which is 182 minus the previous forecast, 186.3 is equals to 184.15. Diba? So nakuha na natin yung mga forecast between the smoothing constant of 0.10 and 0.5. So next, anong susunod na gagawin natin? So Identify muna natin yung forecast, no? So sa forecast ulit, i-rate lang natin. This is 175, 175.5, diba? 174.75, then 173.18, 173.36, 175.02, then 178.02, sorry, 0.22. And then lastly, for the 8th quarter, we have, tama pala, 178.22. Ito yung 22. Okay? So next, yung forecast natin sa 0.5 is yung first quarter natin is 175, 177.5, 172.75, 165.88, 170.44, 180.22, 192.61, and 184.15. Nagtataka kayo kung bakit wala yung 9th quarter, diba? Kasi ang hinahanap lang natin sa 9th quarter is the forecast. Wala naman tayong actual tonnage doon or the actual demand, diba? So, ang quarter lang na meron tayo is hanggang 8th quarter. Okay po. So next, ano yung absolute deviation? Diba? So, kung titignan natin, ang formula natin ng mean ng absolute deviation ay ng forecast error, 'di ba? Actual minus the forecast. So, sabi dito, absolute, 'di ba? So, 180 minus 175 is equals to 5. 168 minus 175.5, syempre negative 7.5 to. Sinabing absolute, so 7.5. Okay po. So for the third quarter, 159 minus 174.5, it is 15.75. Okay po. So number 4, quarter 4, 175 minus 173.8, 18, it is 1.82. So 190 minus 173, it is 16.64. Ay yung difference ng quarter 6 is 29.98. For the quarter 7, it is 1.98. And for the 8th quarter, it is 3.78. Now, it is pre-computed para mabilis yung discussion natin. So, ang gagawin lang natin sa absolute deviation or the forecast error natin, yung actual minus the forecast, ito yung magiging sagot natin dito sa deviation. Okay po. So, next, absolute deviation, this is 0.5, okay? Absolute deviation for smoothing constant of 0.5. So the same. 180 minus 175, diba? It is 5. So 168 minus 177, so negative yon, negative 9.5, absolute value, it is 9.5. Diba? So 159 minus 172.75, negative pa rin in terms of absolute value, it is 13.5. Okay po. So sa fourth quarter, 175 minus 165.88, it is 9.12. So sa fifth quarter, we have 19.56. For the sixth quarter, we have 24.78. For the seventh quarter, we have 12.61. And lastly, we have 4.3. Diba? So sabi natin, ang mean absolute deviation is equals to the absolute value, diba, ng forecast error divided by the number of periods. So ang gagawin natin, so ito yung forecast error natin, absolute value, anong summation niya? Total of 82.45 for smoothing constant of 0.10. The smoothing constant na 0.5, we have a total of 98.62. Okay po. So yung mean absolute deviation natin is equals to summation ng absolute value ng forecast, diba? Forecast error divided by, n, number of periods. So for the mean absolute deviation ng 0.10 natin is equals to 82.45 divided by 8, which is equal to 10.31. For the mean absolute deviation ng smoothing constant na 0.5, 98.62 divided by 8 is equals to 12.33. Ang question kasi kanina, diba, two values are to be examined, and yun yung gagamitin kung ano yung gagamitin ni Port of Baltimore, kung ano yung smoothing constant ang gagamitin niya. So on the basis of the computation ng dalawang MAD natin, we have 10.31 tsaka 12.33, diba? The smoothing constant of 0.10 is preferred to smoothing constant of 0.5. Bakit? Kasi it has the smaller absolute deviation. Okay po. So sa mean absolute deviation, diba, ang pipiliin natin yung pinaka-bababa o yung pinaka-maliit. So therefore, ang gagamitin ni Port Baltimore na smoothing constant is 0.10. Okay po. Kung may question, kindly comment on the section. Kindly comment your suggestion or comments, diba? Para ma-address natin kung meron tayong hindi naiintindihan. Okay po.